Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, welcome to Coach Stadium for season number 20 of Barrie Baycats Baseball. Tonight's Inter-County Baseball League game features the visiting Kitchener Panthers in your 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, and 2019 IBL champion Barrie Baycats. Here are the starting lineups first for the Kitchener Panthers, managed by Don Menard. Leading up the center fielder, number 49, Andy Leader. Batting second, the right fielder, number 46, Jet Jarvis. Batting third, the designated hitter, number 35, Liam Wilson. Batting fourth at first base, number 29, Drayden Sloat. Batting fifth, the second base, number 47, AJ Carosis. Batting sixth, the shortstop, number 6, Evan Sherman. Batting seventh, the third base, number 5, Stephen Whalen. Batting eighth, the left fielder, number 30, Jason Caulfield. And batting ninth and catching, number 57, Noah Murciano. Pitching for the Panthers tonight, number 51, Ryan Douglas. Now the starting lineups for your Barrie Baycats, managed by Josh Matlow. Leading off the center fielder, number 15, Jake Wilson. Batting second in right field, number 14, David LeBlanc. Batting third, the left fielder, number 95, Noel McGarry Doyle. Batting fifth to third base, number 13, Marcel Lacasse. Batting fifth to second base, number 8, Brent Infante. Batting sixth to first base, number 42, Jeff Callan. Batting seventh to shortstop, number 3, Carson Burns. Batting eighth, the designated hitter, number 26, Jake McDonald. And batting ninth is catching, number 44, Tyler Plumpton. Pitching for your Baycats tonight, number 30, Juan Benitez. Here are the umpires for tonight's game calling the balls and strikes. Mr. Jacob Gova. At first base, Mr. Mackenzie Wright. And at third base, Mr. Chubba Bay. Fans, would you please rise? Kindly remove your caps for our national anthem.
From Coast Stadium in Springwater, it's the 4-1 Kitchener Panthers in town to take on the 3-4 Barrie Baycats. Hello, everyone. With Ryan Eakin, I'm Ben Davey, and it's the first matchup between these teams since they met back in 2019 on September the 7th when Barrie clinched their IBL championship, their 6th consecutive championship over Kitchener in 6 games. And certainly what's built up to be an incredible rivalry between these two clubs, Ryan, certainly has unfolded over the last number of years.
Absolutely, Ben. Different looking lineups for both teams than what we saw in Game 6 in Kitchener in 2019. But let's see what these two new teams can do against each other, continue the great rivalry that these two teams have built up over the last decade.
The Kitchener Panthers will send Andy Leader to the plate to lead off. He's in center field tonight. Jet Jarvis, the right fielder, bats second. The DH is Liam Wilson batting third. Drayden Sloat, the first baseman, is the cleanup man. A.J. Carosis batting fifth at second base. Evan Sherman, the shortstop, hit sixth. And the bottom third of the order, Stephen Whelan at third, Jason Caulfield in left, and Noah Maricano rounding out the order for the Panthers tonight. And they'll face hard-throwing Dominican right-hander Juan Benitez, who is back for his fifth appearance already of the season so far for the Baycats.
Absolutely. Baycats need Juan Benitez to pitch deep into this ball game tonight. 5 innings in his first game, 5 2/3 in his second, 5 in his third. Not good enough. Juan Benitez needs to go the distance or close to it for the Baycats tonight.
29 years old from Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic. He's currently resides in Aurelia, stands 6'6", 210 pounds, and has looked very strong in his 4 appearances, as you mentioned, Ryan. The Baycats certainly want him to go a little bit deeper in ball games, and we'll see how far he can go tonight. Brings a 2-0 record and a 2.29 ERA to the hill for this one here tonight. Good crowd here at Coast Stadium tonight. A beautiful sunny sky after a considerable amount of rain earlier this morning. We'll see if the field conditions are a factor at all tonight, but it's first pitch, a fastball and a swing and a miss by Andy Leader to lead off the top of the first for the Panthers. The first inning is sponsored by the Cage Barrie, Barrie's only indoor public batting cage. Second offering from Benitez, catches the outside part of the plate, and he's ahead quickly here, 0-2. Pitch from Benitez, and that one is hit to center field. Jake Wilson has that drop in front of him, and the Panthers get their first batter aboard tonight. So Leader aboard with a leadoff single, and that will bring big right fielder Jet Jarvis to the plate.
Number 46, Jet Jarvis.
Baycats looking for 2 different things from Benitez tonight. Pitch with quicker pace and pitch with more strikes. A lot of balls for his first 3 games for Benitez.
Jeff Cowan is at first base tonight. He's holding on the runner. First pitch is a called strike to Jarvis. Jarvis with a 278 average coming into action here this evening. Leader with the lead at first. Benitez deals. Fouled out of play. Third base side. So for the second straight at bat, Benitez gets ahead 0-2. DH Liam Wilson on deck. Benitez from the stretch. Comes set, 0-2 delivery. And just getting a piece of that is Jarvis, and he fouls it back to the screen. One on, nobody out here, top of the first. Panthers and Baycats. Benitez versus Jarvis. Leader with the lead. He does not go. 0-2 pitch, hit on the ground up the middle, and that one's into center field for a base hit. Leader will stay put at second. Up with the ball is Wilson, and there's 2 on with nobody out now for Liam Wilson, the number 3 hitter.
Exactly what you didn't want if you're Benitez. Up comes the Panthers' best hitter and one of the best hitters in the IBL, the former Canisius Griffin, Liam Wilson.
Wilson's 462 average, second best in the IBL coming into action tonight. And he has 3 home runs, which ties him for the top of that leaderboard as well. So a dangerous hitter here with men aboard and nobody out in the top of the first for the Panthers. Benitez gets the sign from catcher Tyler Plumpton, and now stepping out is Wilson. Leader at second, Jarvis at first. Nobody out here on the top of the first inning. Benitez deals. High and inside, ball one. Pitch from Benitez. He misses on that one, and he's behind 2 balls and no strikes.
Velocity not an issue, but he's missing high on his fastball.
Sean Riley, Toronto, leading the IBL with a .464 average, just 2 points ahead of Wilson coming into tonight's game. 5 IBL players sit atop that home run leaderboard with 3 dingers each. And he's 4th in RBIs with 11, so very productive in that number 3 spot for the Panthers. 2-1 here to him now. Benitez winds, and the pitch. Hot foul out of play, and that'll bring the count even. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Juan Benitez, one of 7 IBL pitchers who has 2 or more wins early in this 2021 campaign. His 2.3 ERA is 5th best in the IBL. Two on the way. High fly ball, shallow center field. Sprinting in is Wilson, and he's got it. Runners stay put. And that's the first out of the inning.
There have been issues at times this season with the second baseman going back on a ball that should be the outfielders. That time, Drake Wilson calls it off, and it makes the catch for the first out of the ball game.
The first baseman, number 29, Drayden Sloat.
So Drayden Sloat will bat with 2 on and 1 out here in this top of the first. Sloat just 1 game, 1 at bat coming into tonight. Middle infield for the Baycats is Carson Burns and Branfi Infante. Shifted slightly around to the right. That one fouled back to the screen. And it's no balls, 1 strike to Sloat. Oh, 1 from Benitez. Missed high and away, 1 ball, 1 strike. Benitez got the win in that slugfest Wednesday last week in Toronto, that 20-19 Barrie win. Blocked by Plumpton, and the count is 2 balls and 1 strike.
That's one of the biggest reasons why the Baycats wanted Plumpton to catch this game. Secondary pitch is not great for Benitez early on. He wanted a steady catcher, Crash Davis catcher, behind the plate for Benitez tonight.
2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out here on the top of the first inning. Panthers looking to draw first blood. Here's the pitch from Benitez on the ground to second. Infante takes that. He has 1 play, and that's at first. So the runners will advance, but now 2 down.
Benitez will take that nice simple play by Branfi, not even thinking of the runner, heading to second, goes up counter at first base for the easy out.
The second baseman, number 47, A.J. Carosas.
So Sloat retired on the ground ball 4-3, and Carosas will bat now with 2 in scoring position, but 2 away in this top of the first inning. Carosas with an open stance, left-hander versus right-hander here. Benitez looking to pitch out of a first inning jam. Fouled back to the screen, strike 1. Panthers riding a nice little 4-game winning streak coming into tonight's game after dropping their season opener. A suspended game thrown in that 4-game stretch as well, we should make note.
Absolutely, they were getting blown out in London through 4 innings, but as Kitchener's manager said, that winning streak continues until that game's completed.
Certainly sounds good. And keep those wins coming. Benitez now a strike away from pitching his way out of this one. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. On the ground to first, and it's foul. We're the first base coach, and we'll do it again at 0-2. Benitez versus Carrozas. 0-2 pitch on the way. Swung on and missed. So the Panthers strand 2 in the top of the first, and after half of an inning, we're scoreless here at Coates Stadium between the Panthers and the Baycats.
For Kitchener in the first, no runs and 2 hits, no errors, 2 runners left on base. Then the first inning is sponsored by the Cage Barrie, Barrie's only indoor public batting cages. The Cage Barrie.
Bottom of the first we go as the Baycats come to bat against Panther hurler Ryan Douglas. Let's give you the Baycat order. Jake Wilson, the hot-hitting center fielder, will lead it off. David LeBlanc makes his debut in right field batting second. Noel McGarry-Doyle in left batting third. Marcel Lacasse, the third baseman, is the cleanup man. Brant Infante bats fifth. Jeff Cowan at second base tonight batting sixth. Carson Burns, Jake McDonald, and Tyler Plumpton, the bottom third of the order for Baycats manager Josh Matlow, to face Ryan Douglas, the 28-year-old from Georgetown. 1 ball, 1 strike to Wilson. Douglas making his second start, third appearance tonight. No record, a 3.60 earned run average. 1-1 pitch catches the inside part of the plate, 1-2. Douglas's last appearance was a 4-inning start last Tuesday versus Brantford, allowed 2 runs, both earned on 5 hits. Popped in the air, shallow left field. It's the shortstop backpedaling, but the left fielder calls him off. Jason Caulfield with the putout, and there's 1 away.
The right fielder number 14, David LeBlanc.
David LeBlanc to the plate for the first time and gets ahead in the count, 1-0.
LeBlanc making his debut, flew into Toronto last night. Baycats Director of Player Procurement, Dante DeCuria, bringing LeBlanc into the Baycats. Recruited him hard over the last couple of weeks. Excited to have him in the Baycats lineup.
He's ahead here, 2 balls, no strikes. Playing right field tonight in that number 2 spot in the order for Josh Matlow. Pitch from Douglas. And that finds the plate, 2-1.
Of Canadians playing D3 baseball, LeBlanc absolutely dominated for the Houston College. Absolutely incredible season for LeBlanc. And that's a big reason why the Baycats ended up signing him, a right-handed bat, 5-tool player in the outfield. A great fit in the top of the Baycats lineup that's stacked with a lot of left-handed bats.
Sounds like a manager's dream. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Chops that one on the ground to shortstop. Have to hurry the throw, and it's not in time. Evan Sherman had to wait for that ball to come to him, and by the time he got the throw off, the speedy LeBlanc makes it to first with an infield single.
And that's what you're going to see from LeBlanc. One of the couple things that Dante was told throughout the course of the last couple of weeks was he's an unbelievable outfielder, and he has high-end speed. Drake Wilson has that high-end speed. Noel McGarry-Doyle, batting now for the Baycats, has similar elite speed.
First baseman Drayden Sloat holding on the runner. He does not go. First pitch is a called strike to Noel McGarry-Doyle. First inning brought to you by the Cage Barrie, Barrie's only indoor public batting cage. Pitch from Douglas, and that one is in the dirt. Ball 2, or ball 1, 1 ball and 1 strike. One on the way, and it's 2 balls and a strike to Noel McGarry-Doyle. .414 average. That puts him in the top 5 of the IBL leaderboard. LeBlanc takes the lead. There he goes. Pitches high and away. The throw down. Head first slide, and it's dropped. He's in with the stolen base.
Ended up being a great pitch for LeBlanc to run on. A breaking ball high. Not a great opportunity for the catcher to make a great throw to second base to get out LeBlanc.
So LeBlanc gets into scoring position with 1 away, and the count 3-1 to McGarry-Doyle. Hot-hitting third baseman Marcel Lacasse is on deck for the Baycats. 3-1 pitch, swung on and missed, and the count is full.
Well, that was a fastball by Doyle on that 3-1 pitch.
Douglas set, takes a look at the runner. Here's the 3-2, and it's ball 4. So 2 runners aboard now for the Baycats in the bottom of the first, with Marcel Lacasse, the cleanup man, coming to the plate.
Lacasse had a tough night Sunday in the doubleheader in London, as many Baycats did. But Marcel Lacasse has been one of the best players in the IBL with his bat to begin the 2021 season.
Well, 6 RBIs, that's second only to Ryan Rio on this ball club, and a chance for him here with 2 on, 1 out early in this ball game to put Barrie on top. Left-handed hitting third baseman here. Douglas takes a look at the runner at second. Pitch high and away, ball 1.
And one of the advantages of the game for the Baycats tonight is all these left-handed bats facing a right-handed pitcher in Douglas.
.1-0 pitch. Finds the inside part of the plate, 1-1. Jacob Goba, the home plate umpire tonight. Mackenzie Wright at first and Chubba Bay at third. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out. First inning here at Coates Stadium. And Lacasse gets ahead in the count, 2 balls and a strike. LeBlanc at second, an infield hit and a stolen base. McGarry-Doyle with a walk. Two 1, swung on and missed. There's 2 balls and 2 strikes to Marcel Lacasse. Chance for Barrie here to get on the board. 2-2, the count, high and away, and the count is now full.
I think there might be a chance to perhaps send the runners here to have 2 elite base runners on base, full count. Opportunity perhaps for the Baycats to send both runners in motion.
Yeah, some really good speed on the bases. We'll see what happens on this 3-2 pitch. Douglas winds and he works. And that one fouled out of play. The runners did not go.
It's always tough in the event that Lacasse struck out and perhaps LeBlanc gets thrown out at third base, Doyle at second base, that you end the inning on a stolen base attempt.
Yeah. Really want to watch out for that strike him out, throw him out double play possibility as well with 1 out. He fouls this one off and stays alive. Well, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Marcel Lacasse against 20-year-old Ryan Douglas. Stands 5'11", 195 pounds. Right-hander comes set. 3-2, runners do not go, and that's ball 4. 2 walks in the inning for Ryan Douglas, and it loads him up for Branfy Infante.
The Baycats' best right-handed power bat in their lineup right now is Branfy Infante. Hit a home run in his last game at home. Only his 3rd game of the season. His biggest at-bat of the season is coming up right now.
Bases loaded, one out for Brant Fianfonte, the second baseman. Douglas deals on the ground, right back to the mound. They go home for one, and no throw down to first. A hard slide there on the catcher, and thrown out at home is David LeBlanc. So that keeps the bases loaded, but two down now.
A minor thing, but not a great throw by Douglas, the pitcher, on what should have been a double play for sure, as Brantford does not have high-end speed heading to first base out of the batter's box.
Jeff Cowan!
So LeBlanc thrown out at home. McGarry Doyle advances to third, Lacasse at second, and Fonte at first on the fielder's choice, and now Jeff Cowan with two away. Douglas misses on the first offering, ball one.
If you go back to Sunday's doubleheader, that second game, the Baycats leaving tons of base runners on base. You have to cash in here in the first inning back at home.
Just Cowan's fourth game of the season. .417 average through 12 at bats. And the count is even on him here, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Both the fan base and Cowan not liking that call, thinking it was a bit outside.
Both teams with chances early here. The Baycats with the bases loaded and 2 out. The pitch hit to right field, and it drops for a base hit. That'll be an RBI for Cowan. Should score 2. The throw from the right fielder is home, and out at home is the runner, Marcel Lacasse. So it scores McGarry Doyle. Lacasse gets thrown out 9-2. Springwater, it's a 1-0 Barrie lead on an RBI single by Jeff Cowan. Marcel Lacasse thrown out at home, but let's give full credit to a great throw by right fielder Jet Jarvis to nab Marcel Lacasse at home plate.
An absolute bullet, not even a one-hop to the plate to get out Lacasse.
Great throw, perfect tag, and that got the Panthers off the board. That ground ball to third is mishandled by the third baseman, and aboard is Evan Sherman. And that will be an infield hit for Sherman. Marcel Lacasse had trouble with that one, and Speedy Sherman gets himself aboard.
Number 5, Stephen Whalen.
And it didn't end up mattering, but that's a play that Lacasse has to absolutely eat. No point in throwing that ball to first base and risking a potential overthrow by the first baseman and leading him to end up at second base or something like that. This is a ball you have to eat next time.
Strike one to Stephen Whalen, the third baseman, batting 7th. So we're into the bottom third of the order now for the Panthers. Whalen, Caulfield, and Murakano. 3 hits for the Panthers so far off right-hander Juan Benitez. 0-1 pitch. Just missed off the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Whalen just one of 3 Panthers in this lineup tonight that played on that 2019 Panthers team that faced the Baycats in the finals.
Fires.
1 ball, 1 strike. That's a called strike 1 and 2. Sherman with the lead at first. Benitez comes set. 1-2 pitch, swung on a miss, strike three. Second strikeout of the game for Benitez, and it brings Jason Caulfield to the plate.
The left fielder, number 30, Jason Caulfield.
Well, we've talked a lot about the high degree of turnover for the Baycats coming into this 2021 campaign with just, I guess, 5 returning players now from that 2019 ball club. We talked to Panthers manager Don Bernard. He mentioned he had 17 of his players are newcomers on this year's squad as Caulfield bunts that one foul down the third base line.
These are not the Baycat Panthers games of the last 6-7 years. Tanner Nivens, Ryan Spaturo, all these great IBL icons gone from both the Panthers and Baycats.
Yeah, this game has a lot of context for fans of both teams that were closely following that 2019 championship run for the Baycats, but for a lot of these players, there's no connection, no association to that season at all.
It was kind of like when the Baycats started facing Brantford again after all those Brantford guys retired. The teams, the logos are the same, the teams' cities are the same, but players are definitely not the same.
It was an interesting series with the Baycats jumping out to a 3-0 series lead in that best-of-7 in 2019, and then the Panthers won Game 4 at home 5-1, and then in Game 5 right here at Coates Stadium. Fans here in Barrie were hoping for a clincher, but it didn't happen. It was a 6-5 Panthers victory to force that 6th game in Kitchener, and that's when the Baycats romped 15-0 to secure that 6th consecutive championship.
After they lost Game 5, there's lots of talk that maybe they might blow another 3-0 series lead, as they did in 2013. The Baycats came out in Game 6 red hot. No one was beating them on that night.
Well, they certainly didn't let history repeat itself that night, that's for sure. Caulfield goes down swinging, so 3 strikeouts for Benitez now, and the number 9 hitter Noah Americano comes to the plate.
The catcher, number 57, Noah Murciano.
I mean, the other interesting historical fact of that game, September 7th, 2019, little did anyone know at the time it would be the final game for either of those clubs for more than 22 months. The 2020 season being canceled, of course. So the Panthers had to sit on that 6-game defeat for quite a lot longer than I'm sure they imagined.
Just 6 balls for Benitez right now, his most efficient beginning to a game of his 4 starts so far this season.
Interesting tidbit there. 1 ball or no balls and 2 strikes now to the number 9 hitter. So 1 on, 2 out. Benitez trying to strike out 3 in a row here in this top of the 2nd inning. Comes set and the 0-2 on the way. Swung on and missed. 3 strikeouts for Benitez in the top of the 2nd, all of them swinging, and the Panthers strand another runner and trail 1-0. The Baycats on top through an inning and a half. You're watching Baycats TV.
Please note the July 24th game versus Brantford, which was rained out here at Coates Stadium, will now be played Tuesday, a week today, August 3rd at 7:30, right here at Coates Stadium.
It's 1-0 Barrie at Coates Stadium in Springwater with Ryan Eakin. I'm Ben Davey, and it's the bottom third of the order for the Baycats in this bottom of the 2nd. Carson Burns Jake McDonald and Tyler Plumpton for Josh Matlow and the
Leading up
Baycats.
to second for the Baycats, the shortstop number 3, Carson Burns.
Second inning is sponsored by Kingdom Bounce, specializing in kid-friendly inflatable structures. Visit them at kingdombounce.com. Douglas misses high and away on the first offering to Carson Burns, the shortstop.
Burns, one of the only Baycats that can say he can be proud of what he did Sunday in London out at the Bat Park. I texted him after the game saying how great of a day he had as he grounds out to the first baseman for the first out.
Yeah, tough doubleheader sweep by the London Majors on the Baycats.
Designated hitter number 26, Jake McDonald.
Coming off the loss here at home against Hamilton on Thursday, so the Cats trying to snap a 3-game losing skid here tonight after winning 3 prior to that mini streak.
And one of the guys that wants to get going is BC native Jake McDonald, still looking for his first hit in a Baycats uniform.
5th game for the Baycat rookie. 0-1 from Douglas, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Fouled over the screen and out of play. Well, we're talking about championships and the Baycats with that streak of 6 consecutive IBL championships coming into 2021. Kitchener has 13 IBL championships in their franchise history, formerly known as the Dutchmen and the Legionnaires, but they haven't won a title since 2001. Foul territory, and that one's caught by the third baseman, 2 away. So the Panthers looking to put that 20-year drought to an end here in 2021.
I remember talking to Angus Roy after the Baycats lost in 2013. He mentioned how if it wasn't for those Red Sox teams, the Red Sox dynasty, the Baycats would have been the dynasty instead of Brantford. And if you look at the Panthers, all those final appearances, they must have been thinking the same thing. If it wasn't for those Baycat teams, they would be the ones right now saying we have X amount of championships and we're the great dynasty of the IBL.
Well, that's an excellent point. And when you think about it, those Brantford Red Sox teams, which I covered quite a bit through my first tenure covering the IBL, having to run into Brantford year after year really pushed the Baycats to, really compete hard and know that they're, going to face a tough opponent in the Red Sox at some point, and really challenge them to put the best team on the field year after year, knowing they were going to have to run into them. And Kitchener-Barrie now, you're right, kind of a similar sort of thing. That one hit deep to left field. Going back is Caulfield, and right in front of the track he makes the catch. So a long, deep fly ball off the bat of Tyler Plumpton, and the Baycats go 3 up, 3 down here in the bottom of the second inning. It's 1-0 Barrie. You're watching Baycats TV.
No runners on base. Third inning sponsored by Kurt's Coolers, mobile refrigerated trailer rentals. Kurt's Coolers.
1-0 Baycats, top of the third inning, and it's the top of the order for the Panthers. Andy Leader, Jet Jarvis, and Liam Wilson up against Juan Benitez, who struck out the side in the top of the first inning after giving up a leadoff single to Evan Sherman. So the Panthers have stranded 3 through 2 innings here. Juan Benitez getting ahead of the batters nicely here. That one finds the inside part of the plate, 0-2.
Leader not happy with either call, thinking both were inside.
Well, when you're successfully finding your spots, you're more likely to get those calls, and Benitez rolling along here. That one in the dirt. Third inning brought to you by Kurt's Coolers, mobile refrigerated freezer trailer rentals. Benitez gets the sign from Plumpton. And the 1-2. Hit to right field. Sprinting over is the right fielder, David LeBlanc. He makes the catch, and there's one away.
And you can hear LeBlanc screaming, ball, ball, ball. His all the way, calling off the second baseman. Great to see.
Well, we've mentioned it a couple of times, but that was one area that the Baycats really needed to work on in the first couple of games. Just a couple of miscommunication situations with the outfielders and the second baseman going back as well on a play or two as well. And certainly that's been an area that has been front and center of the Baycats' minds. Just trying to clean things up a little bit defensively, avoid those unnecessary base runners. Jet Jarvis comes to the plate. He's 1 for 1 with a single, but did not score. Panthers stranding 2 in that top of the first inning. Benitez has settled down nicely after the Jarvis single.
Pitching with great pace today, too. There's been some concern that Benitez can be labeled a human rain delay. Just not seeing it tonight. He's been absolutely pitching with terrific pace. It's been great to see.
Behind in the count here, 3 balls, no strikes.
Just as I say that.
He's retired 7 out of his last 8. Four of his 7 outs have been strikeouts. And a called strike, 3-1. Pitch to Jarvis, swung on and missed. Couldn't hold the bat back, and the count is now full.
It would have otherwise been absolutely a ball.
Payoff pitch. Line to short, and an easy grab by Carson Burns, who didn't even need to move a step. Played that ball perfectly, and there's 2 away.
The designated hitter, number 35, Liam Wilson.
So the dangerous Liam Wilson comes to the plate with that .462 average. Flied out to center field. First out in the ball game in the first inning.
This is the spot you want to see Wilson in for the Baycats. 2 out, no one on. Exactly the spot you want to see the IBL superstar in as he comes to the plate.
Benitez wise, 1-0 pitch. Hit up the middle, and that's a base hit to center field. 4th hit of the game for the Panthers. It brings Drayden Sloat, the first baseman, to the plate.
The first baseman, number 29, Drayden Sloat.
And now begins a line of lefties for the Panthers. You have a lot of lefties in the middle to bottom part of their lineup tonight.
Wilson will lead at first. Being held on by Cowan. And a called strike to Sloat, 0-1. One on, 2 out here, top of the third. That one fouled to the Panther dugout, and that was a rocket. And a quick check over there just to make sure everyone's okay. Looks to be the case, so no balls and 2 strikes here to Drayden Sloat. Not even any time to blink on that laser shot.
No chance.
Oh, 2 pitch, swung on and missed. 5 strikeouts tonight for Juan Benitez and the Baycats. And we go to the bottom of the 3rd with Barrie on top, 1-0. You're watching Baycats TV. We head to the bottom of the 3rd here at Coates Stadium in Springwater. The Baycats up 1-0. An RBI single by Jeff Cowan. And Jake Wilson, David LeBlanc, and Noel McGarry-Doyle. Top 3rd of the order for the Baycats here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. 3rd inning brought to you by Kurtz Coolers, mobile refrigerated freezer trailer rentals. Ryan Douglas has allowed just 2 hits in 2 innings, 1 run. Baycats have left 2 so far. 2-0 hit on the ground to second. Carosis to first, and there's 1 away. Panthers 4-1 coming into action tonight after that season-opening loss to London. 4 straight wins.
Number 14, David LeBlanc.
Welland, Brantford, Welland again, and then Hamilton. They didn't get their first game in until July 17th, just 10 days ago, so keep that in mind. Waterloo region had a few days they were behind the rest of the province's reopening plan, so due to those COVID restrictions, they were a little late getting their season started.
Full credit to the Panthers for how they began this season. Lots of turnover, as you mentioned, with the late start to their season, and they've been absolutely outstanding.
The Panthers have played just 5 games so far. The rest of the IBL has played 7 or more, including the Baycats. 1-1 pitch is hit to left field, and right at the left fielder, Jason Caulfield, 2 down.
On the exit velocity, just couldn't find green.
Left fielder number 95, Noel McGarry-Doyle.
Noel McGarry-Doyle, the left fielder, walked and scored in the 1st. Boy, Ryan Douglas has settled down nicely after that 1st inning. He's retired 5 straight. McGarry-Doyle swings and misses at the 1st offering, strike 1.
Credit to a guy like Douglas, pitching at the University of Waterloo. First time facing a lineup this great, and he's holding his own through the first time through the order, now the second time through the Baycats order.
Yeah, getting out of that 1st inning, allowing just 1 run, you got to consider that certainly a positive for the right-hander. Could have been a lot worse. Big play from his right fielder there. That one went off his leg, picked up by the shortstop, over to first, in time for the out. So score that one 1-6-3. As Sherman did a nice job playing that carom off of Douglas. And McGarry-Doyle goes down, 3 up, 3 down. Go the Baycats in the bottom of the 3rd. We head to the 4th. The Baycats on top 1-0. You're watching Baycats TV.
Sponsored by the Cage Barrie. Barrie's only indoor public batting cages. Cage Barrie.
1. Benitez and the Baycats up 1-0 on the Panthers here in the top of the 4th inning. I'm Ben Davey with Ryan Eakin. First of 5 regular season matchups for these clubs, and it won't be long before they square off again. The Baycats visit Jack Couch Park in Kitchener this Sunday afternoon at 2 p.m. The Panthers sent A.J. Carosis, Evan Sherman, and Stefan Whelan to the plate here in this top of the 4th inning. 1 ball and 1 strike to the second baseman. Carosis struck out swinging to end the first. Swung on a miss, strike 2. Off Benitez and into center field for a base hit. So the Panthers get the leadoff man aboard here on the top of the 4th inning. Evan Sherman comes to the plate.
Tough play for Benitez. Baycats fans have become accustomed to seeing guys like Emilius Guerrero make plays like that from the pitcher's mound, but that's a tough play for Benitez to make that play and throw out the runner at first base.
Came back pretty hard on the way the carom went off of him. There's no chance for the shortstop or the second baseman to get that on the way through. So 5th hit of the night for the Panthers, and Evan Sherman, the shortstop, comes to the plate. He has one of those 5 hits with a leadoff single in the second. He looks at the first offering from Benitez, strike 1. Cowan holds on Carosis at first. He does not go. 0-1 pitch. Just missed outside. 1-1. Sherman fouls that one out of play. Went 1 for 2 with a run scored and an RBI in their 10-8 win over Hamilton on Sunday. Benitez looks in, gets the sign from Plumpton, now comes set. Kick in the 1-2. Outside and low. Ball 2, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Double play death for the middle infielders, Carson Burns and Branfy Infante. Carosis the lead, 2-2 pitch, and this one hit to center field. Wilson to his left makes the catch. Runner stays put, and there is 1 out here in the inning.
That count getting into 2-2, but still no full counts for Benitez tonight. Nice to see.
The third baseman, number 5, Stephen Whalen.
Stephen Whalen, one of 5 strikeout victims tonight against Benitez. Fouls that one over the trees. Left side, strike 1. A.J. Carosis with a leadoff single here. He's at first with 1 out, top of the 4th inning. Pitch for Benitez. In the dirt, blocked by Plumpton. Carosis stays put. One ball, 1 strike. Here's the pitch from Benitez. On the ground. Shortstop goes to second, and that ball goes through just out of the reach of the second baseman, and it's into right field, so the runners will be on the corners now with 1 out.
It's a play you have to try to make if you're Burns. The ball is a bit far to your left. No chance for Branfy at second base, and they were able to at least avoid both runners advancing on the play.
Well, not a good throw by Burns. They change it from a hit to an error, so a hit and an error. So they will give the shortstop an error on that throw.
Number 30, Jason Caulfield.
Caulfield bats with 2 on and 1 out here in the 4th. First offering is a strike.
Struck him out in his first at bat. He could ever use a strikeout in this spot with the guy at third base and less than 2 out.
Strikeout or a ground ball. Oh, 1 pitch. Outside, ball 1. Busy week for the Baycats after this game against Kitchener. They get Wednesday off, but they're in action Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 4 straight games over the weekend. Toronto's here Thursday night. We'll have that game right here for you at Coates Stadium, and then they visit Hamilton, Welland. Runner goes. They throw down to third instead and back safely. Oh, they got him. Out at third. So the runner goes, but they get the pickoff at third base.
That's an absolutely great heads-up play by Plumpton. The whole idea of a play like that is that you hope the catcher throws down to second, and perhaps you can still home. Plumpton absolutely with an amazing throw back to third baseman Marcel Lacasse to gun the runner out at third base.
Yeah, real heads-up play there by Plumpton to pass on the runner Whalen, who was stealing, and he caught Carosis wandering a little too far off third. So the count is 2-1 now with 2 out and a runner still in scoring position, but Benitez a pitch away from working out of this jam. Whalen dancing around at second. That one hit on the ground, left side, into left field for a base hit. They're going to send the runner. Up with the throw is McGarry Doyle, and not in time. In to score is the runner Whalen, and the Panthers tie this game at 1.
We were hoping that out by Plumpton could perhaps be an inning changer for the Baycats, but Benitez allows the base hit. Not a great throw by Dole at left field, from left field, but he had really no chance regardless to gun the runner out at the plate.
So it's an RBI single for Jason Caulfield, scoring Whalen, and it's Kitchener 1, Barrie 1 here on the top of the 4th inning. Number 9 hitter Noah Murakano comes to the plate. And a called strike. 4th inning brought to you by The Cage, Barrie's only indoor public batting cage.
He hasn't been getting hit hard necessarily, but still 7 hits and 7 2/3 and 3 2/3 for Benitez. Has to get more outs and allow less hits.
So this inning started with a hit by Carosis, got to third on a throwing error by the shortstop, and then picked off at third. Whalen with a single and a stolen base. He scores on an RBI single by Jason Caulfield. And throws it on strike 3 is Noah Murakano. So that does it.
The Baycats organization would like to wish a very happy birthday to Brody Sheffield. Brody's celebrating his 11th birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday, Brody, from your Barrie Baycats.
We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Some good chances for both clubs, but just 1 run on each side here at Coates Stadium. Kitchener 1, Barrie 1. Baycats drawing first blood in the bottom of the 1st. Panthers tying it back up at the top of the 4th. And Barrie sends the middle part of the order. Lacasse, Infante, and Cowan to the plate here in the bottom of the 4th inning.
Opportunity for Mr. Lacasse to get on base here. and perhaps starting a rally for the Baycats. Rampy and Fonte behind them, Jeff Cowan behind them. Cowan now just 2 hits away from 400 in his legendary IVL career.
So 1 run on 2 hits for the Baycats, an error, 2 runners left, and for Kitchener, through 3.5 innings, a run on 7 hits, no errors, they've stranded 5. Lacasse walked and was thrown out at home plate in the bottom of the first inning. First pitch from Douglas, high and tight, ball 1. Fourth inning brought to you by The Cage, Barrie's only indoor public batting cage. Douglas deals, strike 1, 1 ball, 1 strike. One pitch, just missed. 2-1 now to Marcel Lacasse, the third baseman.
Douglas wanted that call at the plate, but just too low for the umpire to call that ball. It's pitch or strike.
Lacasse hits this one left side. And it's on the track and bounces over near the Panther bullpen, strike 2.
Barrel ball, but the one thing you're seeing from Lacasse early this season, he has power to all fields. You saw at Christie Pittspen, you were at that game. He just didn't hit home runs to right field, which you would expect for a guy, a left-handed bat playing at Christie Pitts. He used all sides of the ballpark to go deep twice in that ball game, so it was nice to see.
2-2 from Douglas, and he fouls it off. Left side again, and the count holds at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
So Lacasse, I haven't kept track, but he's been fouling off a lot of pitches between his first at-bat and now his second at-bat in tonight's ball game.
Hits this one to right center field, and that one's going to drop. A base hit for Marcel Lacasse, Barrie's third of the ball game.
When you have a professional at-bat like that, good things are going to happen more often than not. Marcel Lacasse is locked in right now for the Baycats.
Second baseman, Barrie Infante, to come to the plate now for the Baycats.
Second base number 8, Barrie Infante.
In the dirt, blocked by the catcher. He looks, runner stays put, ball 1.
This is the opportunity for the Baycats here. You've seen Douglas at least once for every Baycats batter. Now for the second time through the order, this is the time that you want to get to Douglas.
Runner goes. Pitches a ball, the throw down. He's in. Oh, he's out. So Lacasse caught stealing. Called out by the base umpire Chubave, and there's 1 away in the inning.
It looked like he beat it by a mile, so his foot must have come off the bag in that case. So I don't like that call personally. Lacasse, not a high-end base runner. You have Bramphy at the plate, Jeff Cowan, who's been red hot to begin the season behind him. I don't see the point in running into and out at this part of the ball game personally.
So nobody on with 1 out now, and a 2-0 count to Barrie Infante. Just missed ball 3. Jeff Cowan on deck for Barrie. Pitch from Douglas. Ball 4. So Lacasse getting thrown out at second, and the Baycats get the runner right back on a walk to Barrie Infante, and Jeff Cowan will come to the plate.
Jeff Cowan pretty much limited to home games at this point. 2 hits away from 400. He could perhaps do that tonight, and you know he would love to do it from the Baycat fans tonight.
Faking the start is Infante, and he gets back after drawing a throw.
Causing havoc at first base while on the base pass was a Glenn Jackson special during his time at the Baycats.
He bunts it, pops it up, and it bounces foul and out of play. Well, Cowan, a guy who's willing to do it all, regardless of the situation, whatever's needed in that given scenario, and there you see him showing bunt with one out. Just thinking about getting that runner ahead 90 feet.
Jeff Cowan, not a lot of power these days, hasn't hit a home run since the 2016 playoffs, but he's an on-base machine, has been since he came into this league in 2006, and remains today in 2021.
Well, his veteran experience is definitely an asset for this young club. So many first-time players here. It's nice to have a familiar face like Jeff to help those newcomers along.
A couple throwbacks by Douglas. I don't see Branford running and potentially risking a second out from on the base pass in this inning.
Well, he's bluffed a couple of times, and there he took a couple more steps, but did not go. So certainly trying to get in the head of Douglas at the very least. Meanwhile, at home plate, the count is 1-1 to Jeff Cowan. Infante draws another throw. Back head first under the tag.
And this can be an advantage to Cowan, right? And perhaps Carson Burns afterwards, spending lots of time focusing on Branford at first base, who I think is bluffing. I would be shocked if he took off on in this at-bat.
Swung on a missed. Cowan down 1-2. Well, it's the game within the game. And you're right, it's a situation where even if Infante isn't going, he knows he can create a distraction out there on the bases and help out the guy at home plate, Jeff Cowan. 1-2, draws another throw. Fans getting impatient. Douglas trying to keep Infante honest on the bases. 1-2. Here's the pitch. On the ground to third. Whalen goes to second for one. Over to first. Not in time. So Infante erased 5-4. Cowan is safe at first. It brings Carson Burns up to the plate.
It's staying on Burns, who I mentioned last at bat. I texted him after the game saying, hey, great day at the Labatt Park in London. And he was happy that he's just getting back to the form he was in college at Western Texas. He had a great career in junior college, and he's now finally translating it to the IBL, or at least has in the last week and a half.
So 1 on, 2 out, bottom of the 4th inning. Jeff Cowan, the runner at first. Douglas to Burns. High and away, 2-0. Burns with a .320 average coming into tonight's game. Grounded out to the first baseman to lead off the second. And a balk has been called, so the runner, Jeff Cowan, will move up.
And Ben, you mentioned the game within the game. It finally worked for the Baycats there as Cowan gets a free 90 feet due to the balk by Douglas.
So that gets him in scoring position with 2 away and an RBI situation now for the shortstop. Looking to get his team back out in front. 1-1 tie here in the 4th. This one hit on the ground. Taken by the first baseman, drops it. Pitcher covering and in time for the out. What a nice recovery by Drayden Sloat, the first baseman, after dropping that ball, and credit to Ryan Douglas for good hustle over to first to catch that throw. So the Baycats held scoreless in the bottom of the 4th, and we're still tied at 1 through 4 here at Coates Stadium. You're watching Baycats baseball on Baycats TV.
Taking up the fifth for the Panthers, the center fielder number 49, Andy Leader.
Ben Davey and Ryan Eakin back live at Coates Stadium in Springwater. It is a 1-all tie between the Panthers and the Baycats. And the first offering is through into right field. It's a base hit for the leadoff man, Andy Leader. So he's 2 for 3 today. And he gets the board to start things off for the Panthers in the top of the fifth inning.
Andy Leader, just one of 3 Panthers back in the Panthers lineup from that 2019 playoff run. He's pretty great. He went to a D1 at Canisius. He gets on base, terrific speed. He could be a future leadoff hitter for the Panthers for another 10 years.
As we mentioned at the outset, the first matchup between these teams since the 2019 championship clincher on September 7th, 2019. Ball is called foul. So it's chopped off home plate. 0-1. Jarvis 1 for 2 tonight, singled in that first inning. Was unable to score. Runner goes. Here's the throw down. And the ball gets away from the shortstop, and he'll take third as well. Well, Andy Leader gets to third base with nobody out here on the top of the fifth.
That's not on Tyler Plumpton, the Baycats catcher. Both Branfy and Burns going to the bag at second. I don't think either one had enough room to make that catch. Ball ends up in the outfield. Lack of communication between the 2 middle infielders who have shared the infield in the past for the Baycats, and no excuses. And Ben, it's been a, sorry to interrupt, it's been a common theme for the Baycats this season, but the defense hurting them, and it's going to take Benitez to really get out of quite the jam here to limit the damage and keep this game tied as we head into the bottom of the 5th inning.
Well, he worked out of a jam in the first. 2 men on, nobody out. The back-to-back singles by Leader and Jarvis. Now Leader's at third base, and this one hit to center field. Wilson takes a couple of steps in, makes the catch, runner tags. Leader's headed home, the throw to the plate, and Leader retreats. Saw that good, strong throw there by Jake Wilson, and he was forced to hold up. So a big first out of the inning here for Juan Benitez and the Baycats, with Liam Wilson coming to the dish.
Drake Wilson, you can see it from his time at Liberty University, an elite outfielder with a top-end arm. So if you're the Andy Leader at third base in that time, Wilson's coming in on the play, shallow fly ball, no chance you risk it with less than 2 out. At that time, no out.
Tyler Plumpton out for a visit with the right-hander, and Wilson coming to the plate here. They'll discuss how they want to work to the slugging DH. Jacob Goba out to break up the conversation. This game's had a pretty good pace through 4 innings. Righty-righty matchup here. Wilson versus Benitez. First offering. Locked in the dirt by Plumpton.
And if I'm Benitez, I don't have much interest in facing Wilson in this at-bat. You put him on, set up a double play ball for a guy behind him who's not nearly as talented as Liam Wilson. I wouldn't have much interest in facing Wilson in this spot. We wouldn't give him many fastballs. We'd try to limit it with off-speed pitches.
Hard heater in tight to Wilson there. Ball 2.
Or you can do that. You can throw a fastball high and inside, and he won't even touch that.
5th inning brought to you by Seat Giant, the official ticket marketplace of the Barrie Baycats. Get all of your major event tickets within North America in Canadian funds. 2-0 from Benitez. Popped up. And it's going to be the third baseman over near the pitcher's mound. Catch is made by Marcel Lacasse, and there's 2 away. A big pop-up there for Benitez. And the runner still at third, Andy Leader.
Now just one batter away from getting out of danger. What a job that would be by Juan Benitez. If he can get out this batter and strand Leader at third base with no one out to begin the inning.
Sloat is 0 for 2 with a strikeout and still looking for his first hit of the 2021 campaign. This is just his 3rd at bat. Hit weakly to first. And an easy play for Jeff Cowan, and down go the Panthers, stranding Andy Leader at third base. We go to the bottom of the fifth inning. It's the Panthers and the Baycats knotted at 1. You're watching Baycats TV. Bottom of the fifth inning here at Cope Stadium. The Panthers and the Baycats tied at 1. And here comes Jake McDonald, the designated hitter for Barrie. Fifth inning brought to you by Seat Giant, the official ticket marketplace of the Barrie Baycats. Get all your major event tickets within North America in Canadian funds. Ryan Douglas tonight is allowed just the 1 run, scattering 3 hits. Baycats have stranded 3 runners through 4.
It'd be nice to get some runners on before the lineup comes around, turns around for the 3rd time, and that's typically, around the time when you really start to hope you can pounce on a pitcher. I mean, the other manager starts to think, I might have to get going to my bullpen. So let's see if McDonald can get on, and at least Plumpton get on before you get Wilson back up for the 3rd time tonight.
Three-0 count here to Jake McDonald. Taking all the way, and it's ball 4. Second time tonight, the Baycats get the leadoff man aboard. It brings number 9 hitter Tyler Plumpton to the plate.
Catcher number 44, Tyler Plumpton.
Matt will drop McDonald in the lineup, hoping to be getting more fastballs than that at bat, though. A lot of off-speed pitches that didn't even come close to the plate, but hey, they'll take it as a leadoff base runner for the number 9 hitter.
4th walk of the game for Douglas. Plumpton showing bunt, and it hit him. Well, that's one way to move the runner up. Not the easiest, but he'll take it. McDonald goes to second. 2 on with nobody out here in the bottom of the 5th.
And this is not an opportunity you can squander. I just mentioned hopefully get one guy, if not both, on. They did. And now it's time for Drake Wilson, who's been in a mini slump relative to what you can expect from him, to get on base here, perhaps move the runners around as you get into LeBlanc and Noel McGarry Doyle territory in this Baycats lineup.
0 for 2 tonight, but a .444 average coming into today's game. So even with that mini slump you mentioned, he's still well in the 400s. Pretty nice when you can put yourself in that situation early in the season. No ball, 1 ball, no strikes to him here. 2 on, nobody out. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning. McDonald with a walk, Plumpton hit by a pitch.
I'm not sure what Douglas has done in this inning to deserve a call like that. I thought that was well outside.
Generous call on the 1-0. Douglas checks the runner, and the 1-1. Fouled out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
You saw that can change in that bat. Instead of being up 2-0, Douglas comes in with a breaking pitch instead of a fastball, and it completely changes the at bat. Now 1-2 to the Baycats' best hitter.
1-2 from Douglas. Called strike 3. Wilson unhappy with that call as well, as he has a word or two on his way back to the dugout. And out comes Josh Matlow.
That ball was not close. It was in the dirt, and Matlow instantly coming out to challenge it, making sure Wilson, his best player, does not get ejected from this ball game. That pitch was not even close, Ben.
Matlow keeping it civil, but he wanted an explanation from home plate umpire Jacob Goba. And he'll shake his head as he heads back to the Baycat dugout.
I mentioned on the 1-1 pitch, I'm not sure what Douglas did in this inning to deserve a one close call. That pitch was not even close. Now first and second, 1 out for LeBlanc.
LeBlanc 1 for 2 in his Baycat debut here tonight. Big opportunity for the rookie with 2 on and 1 out in this 5th inning. That one misses a ball, 1-0. Middle of the infield, ready for a ground ball. Sherman at short, Carosis at second. This one fouled over the screen, up above the press area. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
It'll have to be a hard hit double play, to get a double play, I should say. A ball on the ground to get LeBlanc out at second base, or at first base, excuse me. Elite speed coming out of the batter's box for the Baycats.
1-1 gets away from the catcher, and the runners move up 90 feet.
And so much for that double play now. That's a massive 90 feet for both runners. Now if you're LeBlanc, you just want to put a ball in play and bring in Lacasse from third base, McDonald from third base.
So McDonald to third, Plumpton to second. And the count 2 balls and a strike to David LeBlanc. Not a good time for that ball to go off the glove of Noah Americano and carry him all the way to the backstop. 2-1 misses, and it's 3-1 now to David LeBlanc with Noel McGarry Doyle on deck.
A lot like the pitch that Wilson was called strike 3 on. That time LeBlanc gets the pitch well in the dirt, but still it was called strike 3 on Wilson.
3-1 on the ground to short. That should score the run. It does. Crossing home plate is Jake McDonald. Plumpton goes to third, and David LeBlanc is retired.
Baycats will take that from LeBlanc. That's exactly what he wanted, the number 2 hitter. Get the ball into the right side of the infield, not the left side of the infield. Job well done by the Baycats newcomer.
The left fielder number 95, Noel McGarry Doyle.
So a big run for the Baycats as it puts them ahead 2-1 in this ball game. Noel McGarry Doyle comes to the plate for the 3rd time tonight. He's walked and scored and hit into a double play. That double play that ended the 3rd was hit really hard right up the middle. Actually went off of Douglas, and the shortstop Sherman was able to make the play. Or excuse me, that wasn't a double play. It was a 1-6-3 ground out with 2 away. 2-0 to him here. Check swing, and he unable to hold up on that, so it's 2 balls and 1 strike.
2-0, he's like the looking fastball, gets an off-speed pitch, and he breaks the plane. So 2-1 now for Doyle as the Panthers manager comes out now to visit with Douglas.
So a conference on the mound. Gary Doyle taking a look at his bat, having a chat with the on-deck hitter Marcel Lacasse. Don Menard out to check on his pitcher just to make sure he's okay. There is some movement in the Kitchener bullpen, and it looks like they're going to call for the reliever here. And that will do it for Ryan Douglas, so his night comes to an end. So he strands the runner at third, gives up a 2-1 lead, and the Panthers go to the bullpen here in this bottom of the 5th inning.
Not sure if that was an injury. It's mid at bat, so he threw a strike, so you would think it would have to be. Interesting decision. If not, a trainer did not come out with the Panthers manager, and I didn't see Douglas single to the Panthers dugout for assistance, so it should be interesting what the rationale was behind pulling him mid at bat. What you would have to assume it is an injury.
Yeah, you don't see many pitching changes on a 2-1 count, so that would certainly lead us to believe there was some sort of issue that perhaps the manager was able to pick up on. Don Menard making the pitching change, and the right-hander coming in here for the Kitchener Panthers. So it looks like it's going to be the brother of Ryan Douglas, Jacob Douglas, coming in here, number 39.
Defensive changes for the Panthers to pitch, number 39, Jacob Douglas.
Former Baycat, Douglas won the championship with the Baycats in 2019. He was one of those guys that season that ate some innings out of the bullpen, saving the Baycats' top-end bullpen guys throughout the course of the season. Douglas was a decent member of that Baycats bullpen in 2019.
So it's a 2-1 Barrie lead here in this bottom of the 5th inning, and Jacob Douglas will inherit the runner from Ryan Douglas. Tyler Plumpton at third base, who was hit by a pitch. And Jacob Douglas will get as much time as he needs here with the warm-ups. Panthers coming off a Sunday afternoon slugfest in Hamilton, that 10-8 victory. They trailed 5-1 after 3 innings, and then a 3-run top of the 9th put them on top for good. Riley Davenport had a big day for the Panthers on Sunday, 3 for 4 with a couple of RBIs. Actually drove in what proved to be the winning run in that top of the 9th inning. A single to center field for the Panthers. So this little 4-game winning streak for Kitchener rolling into this one, but they trail by a run here in Barrie tonight.
Douglas shouldn't need too much more time. He was up in that bullpen for quite some time in the Panthers bullpen, so even though there was an injury, and typically sometimes there's, especially in the 5th inning, there might not be a guy up in the bullpen at the time. Not the case for the Panthers here, luckily for them, and luckily for Douglas, who shouldn't need much more time than he has right now.
Well, Douglas really taking his time with these warm-up tosses and checking with the umpires to see how many more he can take.
And what this would confirm is that he did leave the game because of injury. Otherwise, he has blown past the amount of pitches that a reliever would have.
And the fans here at Coates Stadium getting a little impatient with the amount of time Douglas is taking as well. And being an injury replacement, he's allowed to take as many as he needs. Kind of a hush over the crowd here at Coates Stadium. Very quiet as we all watch Jacob Douglas take his warm-up pitches.
Tough for a guy like Doyle too, right? Mid at bat, he has a count in his favor at least. He's not coming back into this at bat with 2 strikes. But it should be interesting. You have to think he's going to perhaps look at that first pitch back.
He's over in the on-deck circle right now, just doing a few little check swings, some stretches, just trying to stay loose. He's going to step back into this 2-1 count here. And looks like Douglas finally has had enough of his warm-up. So back to this 2-1 count now to Noel McGarry Doyle. Jacob Douglas comes set, 2-1 pitch, swung on and missed. 2-2 now with 2 out in this bottom of the 5th inning. Jacob Douglas, 6'1", 195. Third appearance of the season, just 3 innings of work, 2 earned runs. Payoff pitch, and that's in the dirt, ball 4. So McGarry Doyle works the walk, keeps the inning alive for Marcel Lacasse.
Douglas comes in, only throws a couple of balls, but ends up walking Doyle, coming in as a mid at bat as a reliever.
Baseman number 13, Marcel Lacasse.
Jacob Douglas with 4 strikeouts and 2 walks through 3 innings of work. Make it 3 walks now, with McGarry Doyle drawing the base on balls. And here's Marcel Lacasse. He's walked tonight and singled. Douglas misses on the first offering, ball 1. Plumpton at third, McGarry Doyle at first. 2 away here in the bottom of the 5th. Runner goes. Pitch is a called strike, no throw down. 2 in scoring position now for Lacasse.
No chance. You saw it earlier in the game with the Baycats trying, or the Panthers trying to plump throwing the runner out at third. No chance to throw down to second base there. Not likely getting Doyle anyways. Not going to risk letting the runner come home from third on the play. Baycats being out hit 8-3, leading by a run though. Marcel Lacasse, the Baycats' best hitter tonight, has an opportunity to cash in a couple more runners.
2 on, 2 out. Check swing. It's a strike, 1-2. Brent Fianfonte on deck, hopeful for an at-bat here with 2 away. Douglas comes set. Runners lead, 1-2. Swung on and missed. Jacob Douglas able to put out the fire for the Panthers. With the Baycats back on top, 2-1 after 5 here at Coates Stadium. You're watching Baycats TV.
For Barrie in fifth, no runs and no hits, no errors, 2 runners left on base. Excuse me, 1 run. The 6th inning is sponsored by Starting Lineup, Uniforms and Apparel, the official jersey of your Barrie Baycats. Your season starts here. Starting Lineup, Uniforms and Apparel. For the Panthers, second baseman number 47, A.J. Carrozas.
We go to the 6th inning at Coates Stadium. It's the Baycats 2, the Panthers 1. First of 5 regular season matchups between these clubs. And the first since Game 6 of the 2019 IBL Finals in September of 2019. It's been a big rivalry between these clubs over the last number of years. And they'll meet again on Sunday afternoon at Jack Couch Park for a rematch.
This is the big inning for Benitez here, right? Has not gone more than 5 2/3 of an inning this season. He has an opportunity here with that Baycats bullpen empty to go at least 6 innings in this game. No reason he can't. His pitch count is looking great. Only at 22 balls. You need 7+ for Benitez tonight, especially heading into a tough week where the Baycats have lots of games.
He has yielded a run on 8 hits through 5 innings of work so far tonight. The Panthers have stranded 6. Five strikeouts in this one tonight, including 3 straight in the second inning. Benitez looks like he's swatting away some mosquitoes out there on the mound. Him and everybody else at the ballpark right now.
Gotta get used to it.
Misses on the 3-1, and it's a leadoff walk. A.J. Carrozas gets aboard to start the top of the 6th inning.
The next 3 Panther batters have all reached base tonight with base hits. So it's a tough opportunity here for Benitez before they get back to that Panthers lineup for the 3rd time through the order.
6th inning brought to you by Starting Lineup Uniforms and Apparel, the official jersey provider of the Barrie Baycats. Your season starts here. Called strike to Evan Sherman. He's 1 for 2 this evening. A.J. Karosas does not have a stolen base this season. 1 ball and 1 strike to Sherman. Baycats looking to end a 3-game skid here tonight at home. High pop-up over near the Baycat dugout. And just out of the reach of the first baseman, Jeff Cowan. No chance on that. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
It's this time of night that fly balls in this ballpark can be tough for the outfielders, infielders on high flyouts, high pop-ups. Got to be communicating well out there because you don't want a ball dropping at this point in the game, a 1-run ball game, onto some grass for a ball that should be easily caught otherwise.
It's kind of a hazy night here this evening as well. The temperature has dropped, but it's not exactly a clear sky. There's been a bit of a film, kind of some smog. Not cloud cover, but just some haze that has kind of been in this part of the province for the last number of days. And it'd be interesting to talk to some of the players out there on the field and just see if that's been a factor at all the last week or so. A lot different than a pop-up on a blue sky or a dark sky. Swung on a missed. Strike 3, but the runner advances on a stolen base. So Karosas goes to second. Sherman down swinging, and it brings Stephen Whelan to the plate.
The third baseman, number 5, Stephen Whalen.
Whalen to the plate now with 1 on and 1 out. And now a conference on the mound.
A couple guys in that Baycats bullpen. Not throwing yet, not even stretching yet, but Jackett's coming off. Benitez just over 80 pitches. Absolutely at least needs 6 innings here from Benitez. He has to get through this inning, has to.
First pitch strike to Whalen. The third baseman tonight singled and scored. He's 1 for 2. Fouls that one out of play left side. No balls, 2 strikes.
Pitch number 88 in the ball game coming up for Benitez.
Whalen hitting just 143 through 3 games coming into tonight. 1 for 2 effort this evening. And a big hit here to right field. They're going to send the runner. Coming around is A.J. Karosas, and he's safe at home. The throw down to second now, and out at second is Stephen Whalen. He picks up the RBI that gets thrown out at second. Karosas scores. We have a 2-all tie.
If you're Whalen at first base, you have to commit way before that ball gets to the plate to say, I want to go to second base if they're not going to cut that ball off. I don't know what Whalen was doing there, but fills out Benitez, who allows a base hit. We got a tie ball game here.
So the walk to Karosas proves costly as it ties this game at 2. A big run for the Panthers here on the top of the 6th inning in this low-scoring ball game. Jason Kaufeld tonight is 1 for 2. And he'll bat here with nobody on and 2 outs in the top of the 6th.
And southpaw Lucas Earl not throwing in the Baycats bullpen, but finally now stretching in that Baycats bullpen. Makes sense given all the lefties the Panthers have tonight, especially in that bottom half of their lineup.
I call Lucas Earl the Duke of Earl, and I hope that's a nickname that sticks.
I'll make it happen, Ben.
1-1. Hit to left field. And a diving catch by the left fielder, Noel McGarry-Doyle, who hangs onto it, and it's the 3rd out of the inning. What a play by the left fielder, and the Baycats come off the field, but they give up the lead. It's a 2-2 tie now after 5.5 here at Coates Stadium. You're watching Baycats TV.
There's one other game underway in the Ivy Elks tonight in Hamilton, top of the 7th. The Hamilton Cardinals lead the Brandon Red Sox by a score of 2-0.
We go to the bottom of the 6th here at Coates Stadium. Ben Davey with Ryan Eakin. It's a 2-all tie. 3 hits for the Baycats, 9 hits for the Panthers. And Jacob Douglas back out to work the bottom of the 6th inning here. Got out of the jam that he inherited in the bottom of the 6th. And we were mentioning, Ryan, how the fans were getting a little bit impatient with the amount of warm-ups he took. So he was able to take as much time out there, being an injury substitution, and maybe a little bit of gamesmanship there by the reliever, but it worked for him as he was able to get out of the jam.
Absolutely, he'll take that any day of the week. He doesn't. I don't think he's going to be focused on what the Baycats faithful have to say. If he gets the job done, he got the job done in the bottom of the 5th inning.
So it's Brant Fiafonte, Jeff Cowan, and Carson Burns here for the Baycats. This one hit to left field, and it'll stay in the park for Caulfield. There's one away. Jeff Cowan tonight is 1 for 2.
First base number 42, Jeff Cowan.
Cowan at first base tonight. An RBI single in the 1st, fielder's choice in the 4th.
Quite inside there for ball strike 1, excuse me.
Generous call for Jacob Douglas, puts Cowan behind in the count early. 0-1 pitch, hit on the ground hard, but foul. And he's behind here, no balls and 2 strikes.
Douglas coming out of the bullpen, throwing strikes, pitching with a nice pace, exactly what the Panthers want out of their top reliever.
Well, even those numerous warm-up tosses he took, as many as he wanted there, he was really gunning it to home plate. He wasn't wasting a lot of time, but he certainly took more than the usual. Cowan goes down on strikes, and there's 2 quick outs here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
The shortstop number 3, Carson Burns.
Carson Burns tonight 0 for 2. He'd love to get something started here on the bottom of the 6th for Barrie in this 2-all tie. First pitch swinging, and he fouls it off.
Burns is one of those guys, if he gets on base, even with a base hit, he needs to take 90 feet with his legs, and McDonald can be a base hit away from giving the Baycats their lead back. So if you're Burns, just try to get on base any way you can with 2 out.
Owen to Burns, fouls it, and it's no balls and 2 strikes. Baycats 2 games behind the Panthers in the standings with a 3-4 record. Kitchener 4-1. And they've got a 1-game lead on the Majors and the Cardinals, and some games in hand as well. Slow bouncer, and it's off the glove of the shortstop, and he's unable to make the throw. So what looked like a weak line drive ended up taking a couple of bounces, and it dropped in front of shortstop Evan Sherman. He was unable to make a play.
There's no reason to play that ball off a hop. You saw earlier in the game, Burns made that exact same play. He caught it, line drive out to the shortstop. I'm not sure what Sherman was doing at short there. You can't let that ball play off a hop, because when that happens, Ben, you just saw what happened. He lost control of it, and Burns is safe at first base.
So that'll be the first error of the game for the Panthers, and it puts a man on, and a liner to third, and that one is caught easily by Stefan Whalen. So the error to Sherman, no cost for the Panthers as they strand a runner here in the bottom of the 6th inning. We're tied at 2 as we head to the top of the 7th. 2-2 tie. You're watching Baycats TV. Quality service in a relaxed environment, redefining gentlemen in the heart of Barrie. And it's Juan Benitez back out to work the top of the 7th. You mentioned it right off the top, Ryan, and several times tonight, the importance of Benitez being able to take the Baycats deep into this ball game, and that's exactly what he's doing now.
It's the first time this season making an appearance in the 7th inning. Let's see if he can get through the entire inning. It's a must at this point. You don't want to tax the Baycats bullpen this early on to what's going to be a really busy week. And when you have your ace in the mound, he has to set the tempo.
Yeah, 4 straight games after the off day tomorrow, so obviously important for the Baycats to rest that bullpen and have everyone ready heading into this weekend.
More so this week when the Baycats don't have their number 2 starting pitcher, their number 3 starting pitcher. Those guys come next week. Right now it's Benitez and a lot of question marks, so you really need Benitez to really step up tonight. And he has to a decent extent, but he needs to get through the 7th inning in my opinion.
Noah Americano has 2 strikeouts tonight. He's ahead in the count here, 3-1.
This is what you don't want to see from Benitez, throwing balls, starting to wander around the mound. It's not what you want to see from Benitez, and that's a concern if you're Baycats manager Josh Matlow.
Ball 4, so he puts the leadoff man on here on the top of the 7th. We've got a left-hander throwing in the Baycat bullpen right now. We'll see how long Matlow decides to let Benitez finish off this, and now a conference out on the mound.
Andrew White, the Baycats bench coach, is going to come out here. The number one thing he has to say to Benitez here is start picking up the pace again. When he's wandering around, he's throwing balls, it's not good enough. He has to stay in that tempo that he was in for the most part through the first 6 innings of this ball game.
Benitez coming into tonight with an unblemished 2-0 record and a 2.29 ERA. 2 runs through 6 innings of work so far, but a man on here on this top of the 7th inning. As Jacob Goba heads out to the mound to wrap up the conversation. So Americano reaches base for the first time tonight, and it's back to the top of the order now for Andy Leader, who has a 2-hit evening. Jeff Jarvis and Liam Wilson to follow here in this top of the 7th. Swung on a miss.
Pitch number 96 for Benitez. Absolutely capable of getting through this inning if he can be around that 110 mark. That's exactly the amount of pitches you want to see from your ace.
0-1 misses, 1 ball and 1 strike. Certainly love to get a ground ball here. Cowan holds on Americano at first. Here's the 1-1. Swung on a miss, strike two as he chases the high heater. And it's a ball and 2 strikes to Andy Leader.
Only 2 ground ball outs for Benitez tonight, so what a nice time it would be for a third one.
On the ground. Slow roller to short. He's got 1 play. It's to first. The throw's in time for the out, and the runner goes up 90 feet. So a win-win situation there as the Baycats get an out in the inning, but the Panthers certainly will trade that in to get the go-ahead run here in scoring position.
46, Jet Jarvis.
Absolutely. Even if Jarvis gets out, up comes next would be Liam Wilson, the Panthers' best hitter. So right now, they have to like where they're at here in the top of the 7th inning.
Jarvis showed bunt and then pulled the bat back right away, and it's a called strike.
That bunt, to say the least, would be trying to get on base with Lacasse playing a bit back on the dirt, not coming in at all. Jarvis trying to get a bunt for a hit.
And now with Americano dancing around at second, Benitez steps off. He'll come set again. And work the 0-1. Which is high, 1 ball and 1 strike. Time is called as Jarvis will step out.
May have gotten a mosquito in his eye by the looks of it.
Well, we've seen pitchers and now Jarvis swatting away. It looks like a little bit at home plate. He'll settle back in, and here comes the 1-1. Plumpton puts down the sign. Benitez, look at the runner, and the 1-1 pitch in the dirt, blocked by Plumpton.
Massive block by Plumpton. That runner cannot get to third base with less than 2 out. It's a massive block by Plumpton. The pace of Juan Benitez clearly laboring at this point in the ball game here in the 7th.
Yeah, he has slowed it down significantly. Foul down the left field line. It's out of play, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
There are some pitchers who pitch like this no matter what. You look at Marek Detska in Toronto. He pitches at this pace an entire ball game, but Benitez, he's at his worst when he's laboring around the base, the pitching mound. That's exactly what you're seeing here.
Well, his most effective innings were the 2nd and the 3rd, and he allowed just 1 single in each of those 2 innings, but those were the innings that stood out to me where he was really working quickly.
Absolutely throwing strikes.
He has 7 strikeouts tonight. Two on the way to Jet Jarvis. Slow roller hit off the end of the bat, picked up by the 3rd baseman over to first, and in time for the out. Runner stays put as Lacasse throws out Jarvis for the 2nd out of the inning. So big ground ball for Juan Benitez, and there's 2 away. Big bat coming up here for the Panthers, and Wilson, he's 1 for 3 tonight.
And they had no interest putting him on. Right to first base he goes. No reason to face Liam Wilson in this spot.
So it's Andy Sloat, or Drayden Sloat, the first baseman, for Kitchener here with 2 on and 2 out. Sets up the force at any base as well.
The downside is you're now facing the left-hander, but yeah, set up the force out, take the bat out of the hands of the Panthers' best slugger by a country mile. You'll take it if you're Baycats manager Josh Matlow. But now Benitez has to go out and finish the inning.
We'll see if the decision pays off here. Slow tonight is 0 for 3. Pitch for Benitez. Called strike.
Benitez has overpowered his fastball pass Sloat a few times tonight. Let's see how much life he has left on that fastball at this point in the ballgame.
Fouled over the screen, 1-2. So a big pitch coming here on the 1-2. Sloat with 2 groundouts and a strikeout tonight. This
likely is Benitez's last at bat no matter what happens here. So an opportunity for him to throw his best pitch of the ball game right here in the biggest moment of the ball game.
Second baseman A.J. Carosas is on deck, hopeful for an at-bat with 2 outs. Benitez really slowing it down here. He takes a moment on the mound to collect himself. Fans urging him to finish it here. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Fouled over the screen.
Try the high fastball, slow, makes contact and lives to fight another pitch.
Noah Murakana walked to start off this top of the 7th, got to second on a ground ball. Liam Wilson with the intentional walk, and it's a 1-2 pitch. Right back to Benitez. Gloves it, underhands to first in time for the out, and the Panthers unable to score in the top of the 7th. Stretch time here at Coates Stadium as the fans come to their feet. We are tied at 2 through 6.5. You're watching Baycats TV. Ryan Eakin and Ben Davey at Coates Stadium, bottom of the 7th inning. It's a 2-all tie between the Panthers and the Baycats. The first of 5 regular season matchups between these two rivals. And Juan Benitez's night apparently has come to an end as we just saw him walk from the dugout to the clubhouse. 7 strong innings of work. He cannot lose this game, so he'll keep that unblemished record at least 2-0, hoping for 3-0 if Barrie can get a lead here on this bottom of the inning and win it for him.
Benitez, that's exactly what you needed. 7 innings, he threw well over 100 pitches. Exactly what you need. Was it his most efficient start? No, I think he threw a lot of balls down the stretch, but he'll take that outing from Benitez, and now it's going to be up to the Baycats offense and the Baycats bullpen to close this game out.
On the other side, Jacob Douglas has been very effective since coming on in relief of his brother, Ryan Douglas, the starter tonight, who will pick up a no decision in this 2-all tie. Tyler Plumpton on to lead it off for Barrie in the bottom of the 7th inning. Plumpton, Wilson, and LeBlanc. 9-1-2 for the Baycats. Baycats with just 3 hits tonight. Struggled offensively in that doubleheader against London on Sunday as well. So the bats have been quiet for the Baycats in the last 3 games.
Without their best slugger, Ryan Rio, perhaps a little bit to be expected, but there's more than enough talent in the Baycats lineup to produce better than they have these last 3 games.
9 hits for the Panthers on the 2 runs. Chop foul down the third base side. That's a ball and 2 strikes to Tyler Plumpton, who's reached base once, was hit by a pitch, and flied out 2 at bats this evening.
Should note the Baycats have drawn 5 walks tonight, a hit batter, so they have gotten on base without a lot of hits, to their credit.
Swung on and missed. Plumpton goes down swinging, and there's 1 away.
Center fielder number 15, Jake Wilson.
Jake Wilson has had a quiet night at the plate. He's 0 for 3. Off to a hot start in this 2021 campaign, but still looking to reach base tonight.
Facing close friend Jacob Douglas now. These two growing up playing baseball together, so it should be a fun at bat for both of them.
That's an interesting connection. 1-0 from Douglas. And Wilson is ahead 2 balls and no strikes. Panthers at Christie Pitts tomorrow to take on the Maple Leafs, and then the Baycats get the Leafs here on Thursday night. 3 home games for the Baycats as they play tonight, Thursday, and then Saturday evening here at Coates Stadium. Called strike to make it 2-1. Jacob Douglas falls behind 3 balls and 1 strike to Jake Wilson. Wilson with a strikeout looking. Ground ball and a fly out tonight. Right fielder David LeBlanc is on deck. Pitch to Wilson, swung on and missed. And the count is full.
A big pitcher. If you're Douglas, you do not want to allow Wilson's speed on the base pass with less than 1 out, or less than 2 out, excuse me, in the middle of the Baycats lineup coming up.
Payoff pitch. Called strike. And that has Wilson looking to the sky. So 2 strikeouts for Jacob Douglas here in this bottom of the 7th inning.
To the umpire's credit on that one, that was the same pitch he called strike 2, same pitch he called strike 3, so Wilson has to know that was going to be called a strike.
David LeBlanc tonight 1 for 3 with an RBI in his Baycat debut. Bats here with 2 away and nobody on. Outside part of the plate, it's a called strike. Ryan Douglas got the start. Jacob Douglas on in relief. This one hits a third. Up with it, Whalen. The throw to first, just in time for the out. Baycats go 3 up, 3 down for the 3rd time tonight. We're through 7. It's a 2-all tie between the Panthers and the Baycats. You're watching Baycats TV.
No runs, no hits, no errors, no runners left on base. Inning number 8 is sponsored by Barnstormer Brewing Company, the official local beer of the Barrie Baycats. Barnstormer Brewing Company. The next home game for your Baycats will be Thursday, July 29th at 7:30 p.m. start when the Toronto Maple Leafs Rangers battle for your Barrie Baycats. Get your tickets at barriebaycats.com and avoid the lineup. And the Baycats in the pitch number 62, Aiden Russell. 8 for the Panthers. Second base, number 47, A.J. Carrozas.
Aiden Russell in on relief of Juan Benitez tonight. And the Baycats and the Panthers are tied at 2 as we go to the top of the 8th inning. Third appearance of the season for Russell. 2 1/3 innings has not allowed a run so far this 2021 campaign. Called strike, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike to A.J. Carrozas, who has reached base twice tonight, scored a run.
Makes sense to go to Russell here with all the left-handed bats coming up for the Panthers. Lots of options when it comes to southpaws and that Baycats bullpen from manager Matlow. So a great opportunity for Russell here to show his worth as a go-to lefty.
Fouled off the mask of Plumpton, I think, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. A lefty-lefty matchup here.
And out of the lefties in the Baycats bullpen, Russell, Mason Robinson, Lucas Earl, Russell's clearly been the best of the 3 young guys.
Ahead in the count here, 1-2. Swung on a miss. Carrozas goes down swinging for the second time tonight, and it brings Evan Sherman to the plate. 8th inning brought to you by Barnstormer Brewing Company, the official local beer of the Barrie Baycats.
The shortstop, number 6, Evan Sherman.
Sherman tonight 1 for 3, a single and a strikeout and a fly ball. Starting to see just a little bit of low-lying fog in the outfield.
For sure.
The temperature has really dropped. It's still sticky though, still a damp night. A little on the muggy side. Certainly it was hot and humid earlier this afternoon. It's cooled off significantly here in Midhurst. This one hit on the ground, backhanded at first by Cowan. He'll underhanded the pitcher. Russell does a nice job getting into the bag. And there are 2 quick outs here for Russell in the top of the 8th inning.
Third base, number 5, Stephen Whalen.
And another lefty bat for the Panthers here. So Russell comes in, faces lefty, righty, lefty. Let's see if he can get a 3-up, 3-down here.
When the condensation starts to form on the pages of your scorebook, you know that it's a damp night. Oh, this one hit hard, right field. And going back is the right fielder. It's gone. All LeBlanc could do is look up and watch that one go. A solo shot for Stephen Whalen puts the Panthers on top for the first time tonight.
I didn't think that was going to get out. I did off the bat, but I didn't think it had the enough just to get out. It did. And now the Baycats offense is really going to have to get going here as the Baycats bullpen continues its struggles for early season, to be expected with all these young guys in the Baycats bullpen.
Left fielder, number 30, Jason Caulfield.
Well, a great start by Aiden Russell, getting the first 2 quickly, but one mistake to Stephen Whalen, and it's Kitchener on top now, 3-2, their first lead of this ball game. Foul out of play. It's Jason Caulfield to the plate for the 4th time tonight. So the Panthers with a run in the 6th and now 1 in the 8th. Sorry, 1 in the 4th, 1 in the 6th, 1 in the 8th. Oh, and 2 to Caulfield. Blocked by Plumpton in the dirt. 1 ball, 2 strikes. One-two pitch from the left-hander on the ground to second. Slow roller for Infante, but he has time to make the throw. And down go the Panthers in the 8th, but a solo blast by Stephen Whalen puts them ahead. It's 3-2 Kitchener after 7.5 here at Coates Stadium. You're watching Baycats Baseball on Baycats TV. Baycats trail for the first time tonight. It's 3-2 Panthers. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning here at Coates Stadium, and the heart of the order coming up for Barrie, Noel McGarry-Doyle, Marcella Cass, and Branfy Infante. Big opportunity here for the Baycats to try to bring some bats to the plate here and just get some runners on, see what they can do, trailing by a run.
Well, how about Jacob Douglas, a former Baycat, coming back to Midhurst for the first time? 2 in the 3rd of an inning. He hasn't allowed a hit yet.
McGarry-Doyle showing bunt. Infielders running in and pulls it back for a ball, 1-0. That fog continues to form in the outfield, especially left field. Let's keep an eye on that side of the diamond. Strike 1 to McGarry-Doyle. Count is even.
Douglas getting that call high and outside often the last couple innings.
Well, if you get it once, you may as well keep going back there. Let's see what he does. That one's fouled off at home plate, strike 2.
It would be massive to get Doyle on base here with his elite speed for Lacasse, who's been the Baycats' best hitter tonight. But Douglas is not an easy guy to get a hit off of right now, or a base runner for that matter. He has been outstanding in relief for his brother.
2 walks for McGarry-Doyle tonight, but he's behind here 1-2. It's a called strike 3, and again, he gets that high and away pitch, Ryan.
And as you said, though, at this point, the Baycats have to know it. Douglas knows it. Baycats offense has to know it. That pitch is going to be called a strike if you don't swing at it.
Marcel Lacasse.
Marcel Lacasse has reached base twice tonight, a walk and a single to go along with a strikeout, so 2 for 3 tonight. Or 1 for 2 in 3 plate appearances. Douglas just dominating out there. Strike 1 to Lacasse.
He had moments in the Baycats bullpen in 2019 where he showed he can be a useful reliever in the IBL. He is putting on an absolute clinic against his former team right now.
He's retired 5 in a row. And 8 of his last 9. Marcel Lacasse. Strike 2. Douglas gets the sign, comes set. 0-2 on the way. That one misses by enough for a ball, 1-2. Here, Douglas, you're ahead in the count. You want to just keep stretching that strike zone, see how far you can take it.
Absolutely.
1-2. Little flare down the third base line. It's foul. Out in the fog in left field. Well, that ball just disappeared. Caulfield picks it up and throws it back in. So the count is even now, or it's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Well, Cass, a tough guy to strike out. Need base runners at this point. You're down to your last 5 outs. Bottom of the lineup scheduled to come up in the 9th inning if the Baycats get retired in order here in the 8th inning. This part of the Baycats lineup needs to do something.
Just missed 2-2. Jacob Douglas has 5 strikeouts.
The Panthers would be absolutely ecstatic if Douglas is outing tonight. Incredible by Douglas.
Called strike 3. That one right there froze Lacasse, and there's 2 down. 6 strikeouts now for Jacob Douglas.
This is as fine a performance that you'll see out of the bullpen. He has been outstanding. And you look at that pitch count, only 39 pitches. Douglas has thrown 3 innings. He's gotten 9 outs, excuse me. He is cruising for the Panthers out of their bullpen.
Just amazing how efficient he's been when you look at those numbers. Foul ball off the bat of Branfy Infante, and it's 0-1.
And look at a guy like Douglas released by the Baycats. You got to think coming out of the bullpen tonight, he had a bit of a chip on his shoulder to show I should be in the Baycats bullpen right now if I wasn't released.
Hit hard but foul down the left field line over near the Panther bullpen, and it's strike two. Well, we talked a lot last week about how Marshall Leishman was so effective in relief for the Baycats in that game last week against Hamilton, and kind of a similar situation for Douglas coming in tonight, just really being efficient with his pitch count and getting ahead early.
The only difference would be Douglas right now doing it in high quality innings.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Brad Fianfonte, staying alive here with 2 down in this bottom of the 8th inning. Baycats led 1-0 and 2-1. They now trail 3-2, and a swing and a miss, strike 3. And how about Jacob Douglas striking out the side here in the bottom of the 8th inning? What a clutch performance so far for him tonight. We're through 8. It's the Panthers 3, the Baycats 2. You're watching Baycats TV.
Number 9, sponsored by Barnstormer Brewing Company. This is the local beer of the Barrie Baycats, Barnstormer Brewing Company.
Top of the ninth for the Panthers as they look to add to their 3-2 lead. Aiden Rossell on in relief for the Baycats here. He'll work the ninth as well. Really confident and in control in that 8th inning, but he made the one mistake, the solo home run to Stephen Whelan. And it put the Panthers on top for the first time tonight.
One mistake, but this loss won't be on him if the Baycats lose. It's going to be on the offense. Need more than 2 runs in the ball game for the most part to win on any given night. It's not acceptable by the Baycats. I understand that they're without Ryan Rio, but if you look at the Panthers dugout, Elliott Curtis, one of the best players in the league, is not in the Panthers lineup. Simply no excuses for the Baycats.
Yeah, still just 3 hits for Barrie tonight, and Jacob Douglas has been dominant in relief tonight. Swing and a miss. Noah Americano tonight. He has reached on a walk, 0 for 2. 3 plate appearances this evening, and he's behind here, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Catcher swings and misses, strike 3. 2 strikeouts for Aiden Rossell now this evening. Ninth inning brought to you by Barnstormer Brewing Company, the official local beer of the Barrie Baycats. Andy Leader 2 for 4 this evening with a pair of singles. Ahead in the count here, 1-0. Left-hander winds, 1-0 delivery in the dirt. And Aiden Rossell behind here, 2 balls and no strikes to the Panthers center fielder. Two-0 catches the plate. It's 2 balls and a strike. Foul back to the screen. And the count is even 2-2. These teams meet again at Jack Couch Park in Kitchener this weekend, Sunday afternoon. Left-hander winds, and the 2-2 offering. Popped up, shallow, caught by the second baseman, Baranfi Infante, and there's 2 away.
The right fielder, number 46, Jet Jarvis.
Jet Jarvis is 1 for 4 tonight with a single. Looking ahead to the bottom of the ninth for Barrie, it'll be 6, 7, and 8. Cowan, Burns, and McDonald. And I'd be shocked if we see anybody but Jacob Douglas work that ninth the way he's been going.
Yeah, the Panthers have someone up in their bullpen, but there is no way you overthink it. Galaxy, bring yourself into not bringing Douglas back up for the ninth inning. He is cruising, and the Baycats have no answer for his fastball and his off-speed pitches.
Russell wanted that call, didn't get it. He's behind here 2-0. Lefty-lefty matchup with 2 away here in the top of the ninth inning. Russell versus Jarvis. Strike. It's 2-1.
You have to think if Jarvis gets on base here, you might see a right-hander pitcher come in to face the righty Wilson.
Hit on the ground. It's a fair ball, and it's gloved by Jeff Cowan, the first baseman. Steps on the bag. And Russell does his job in the top of the ninth, getting the Panthers 3 up, 3 down. So we go to the bottom of the ninth inning. 3 outs to go. Baycats trail 3-2. You're watching Baycats TV.
The next home game for your Baycats will be this Thursday, 7:30, when the Toronto Maple Leafs are in here to battle your Barrie Baycats. Get your tickets at barriebaycats.com.
A long, long time ago, I can still remember how the music used to make me smile. And I knew if I had my chance, that I could make those people dance. Baby.
3 bullets left for the Barrie Baycats, bottom of the ninth inning. They trail by a run. Jeff Cowan, Carson Burns, Jake McDonald are all due up here for the Baycats to face Jacob Douglas, who has been the story of this ballgame. Coming on in relief of his brother Ryan Douglas, who is also strong tonight. But Jacob has just been absolutely dominant. He has struck out 5 of his last 6 and has retired 7 in a row for the Panthers. And they'll leave him in here to shut the door. This one hit hard down the third base line. Cowan, first pitch swinging, strike 1.
There's this idea that if you throw 95, you throw 93, you can dominate in this league. Douglas is showing right now that doesn't matter. It's a matter of throwing strikes, having great off-speed pitches, locating your off-speed pitches. You don't need to just blow fastball by these guys, and Douglas is putting on a clinic tonight.
Yeah, it's been the mix, the speed variance, I think, that has really kept the Baycats a little bit off their toes at the plate this evening, as they just have had no answer for him so far tonight. And the other factor has been Douglas getting that outside part of the plate, and that high strike as well, and he's been going back to it time and time again.
See if a guy like Jeff Cowan, who played with Douglas on the 2019 Baycats, can get a hit and get on. Jeff Cowan, kind of like a typical leadoff hitter, so it's a nice spot for him to come up in this spot.
1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch swung on and missed. 4 straight strikeouts by Douglas.
This is as incredible of a relief job as you'll simply see. Full credit to Jacob Douglas, a former Baycat. He has been absolutely outstanding in his return to Cope Stadium.
I guess he's not second guessing how many warm-up tosses he took now. he knew exactly what he needed to do to get ready to get out there tonight. And also coming in a situation where it was an injury substitution, so it was a very unpredictable scenario. He came in the middle of a count. I think it was 2 balls and a strike.
He is at through 3 2/3, no hits, no walks, no runs, and 8 strikeouts. He has been absolutely amazing for the Panthers out of the bullpen.
Actually walked that batter. I think it was McGarry Doyle. He came in that at bat.
That does go to his brother Ryan Douglas, however.
12, so 12 batters that he's faced. This one on the ground to second, an easy play, and there's 2 down. So he's retired 12 of 13. Assuming that walk goes to his brother. So 12 out of 13 retired by Jacob Douglas tonight. Just a masterful relief performance.
I've seen some great pitching performances in this stadium, some by Panthers. I go back to Attenda's performance in Game 1 of the 2018 finals. We had a no-hitter going into the 8th inning, if not the 9th inning of that game. But this is right up there. It's also not playoffs and all that, but this is an absolute amazing performance by Douglas. Full credit to him.
Just 3 innings of work for Jacob Douglas coming into this game tonight. He brought an ERA of 6 into this ball game. Tonight's performance will certainly help that stat, and he's in line for his first win of the season as well, as his team took the lead with him on the hill.
Would be his first win in the IBL, not recording a win with the Baycats in 2019.
Lazy pop up to the second baseman. Carosis puts it away, and that will do it for this one here tonight as the Panthers prevail and extend their win streak with a 3-2 victory tonight over the Barrie Baycats.
Final line scores first victorious Kitchener Panthers. 3 runs on 10 hits and 1 error, stranded 8 runners. The Barrie Baycats, 2 runs on 3 hits.
So just 3 hits for the Baycats tonight on 2 runs. Panthers with 10 hits and 3 runs, stranding 8. A hard loss for Aiden Rossell tonight, who pitched well, but gave up the game-winning home run off the bat of Stephen Whalen, and that proved to be the difference tonight in this 3-2 Panthers victory. So we're back here at Coach Stadium on Thursday night. The Toronto Maple Leafs will be in town, and then again on Saturday. So Baycats with 3 games this week, and looking to snap now a 4-game losing skid after this 3-2 loss to Kitchener. For Ryan Eakin, I'm Ben Davey. Good night from Coach Stadium. Again, our final, Kitchener 3, Barrie 2.